Hey, my friends, here we go again. Proverbs 8. And I tell you what, you can get backed up and you can get tripped up and you can get delayed, but that race is still going. So for me to neglect the commitment that the boys gave me, boy, I tell you what a sin that may be. But I'm pressing on. Okay, we're pressing on. We're doing 2-a-days. We're doing 3-a-days till we get caught up. Life is so precious, and time is so precious, and wisdom so precious that we have to pour into this. So that way our life and our time is really redeemed and maximized. So that way we are actually doing more of what God wants us to do. We've got to give it to God. And the Proverbs, what a way to just have some tactical things we can actually do. Okay? We can get a lot of wisdom, the parables, but the things in here, the wisdom from the Proverbs, give us some tangible things. Hey, look, here's what I can do. Step A, B, C, D, and E. That's why all these 5 steps to greatness and 5 steps to making your life better, that's why all of these things are so esteemed and prized by people these days, because they're action oriented. Okay? And the Proverbs are, if I were to describe it, it's action, okay, and having good ideas of what you need to do, the steps you need to take, the thought that goes into those actions. But action is huge. Let's talk about Proverbs 8. Tell you what, the blessings of wisdom. On the heights beside the way, at the crossroads, she takes her stand. So it's looking at positioning, okay? It's talking about the journey. The journey is hugely important, all right? And beside the gates in front of the town. It's giving us that imagery. All right, we have these gates in different areas these days. A lot of times they're on our computer systems and firewalls, and those are the gates. But we rarely see them anymore. But long ago, gates were hugely important for protection. Okay, and we want to think about the gates of our house, our doors. Maybe in the future the government is not going to let us have doors. We're just going to have open doors. I don't know. But the best way we can describe the gate these days is either our front door or our fence if we have one. And some communities have them as well. They're for reasons. They're trying to protect themselves where they would otherwise be a little bit more vulnerable. You have a fence, it's going to help to keep people out. People are going to have to make a decision. Do I want to break through that fence? Okay. It's one thing to kind of amble into someone's front yard, hitting their front door. Okay. But it's another thing to say, hey, look, I've got to jump over this gate first. And then after I jump over the gate or break through the gate, I'm going to have to break out of that fence again. So once they're in, they're also contained. All right. So besides the gate of the front town, at the entrance of the portals, she cries out. Portals would be along the lines of a big window or a window of some size in a wall, such that someone can see out, or to use it for battle. Maybe arrows would be slung from them, or perhaps some sort of, maybe hot oil or something may be poured out of them onto the people below. That would be a portal. Today we see them in the internet a little bit, where they're sort of like just an entry point to a corporate environment. They call those portals, for those of you who know that. Take my instructions instead of silver. So we move from the direction and a little bit of that imagery. We get back into prudence, but now we're talking about take my instructions instead of silver, and instead of gold, instead of jewels, and all that you may desire may not compare. You need to put this top priority. Wisdom dwelleth prudence, and I find knowledge and discretion. Where are we going again? We're getting hammered in with this. And I start to think, they say, I've heard different theories. One of them is if you do any habit for 21 days, then it's sort of like locked in, right? You ever heard that? Or I've heard other things like 30 days. I suppose they equate that to a month, and something like that. But there's some There's something about having the repetition being poured into you, even in learning. What we do repeat things. Now, there are different techniques besides repeating things, but fundamentally, in order to get it down, you need to repeat it. Even if you use mnemonics, you need to repeat that imagery within the things that you're associating with the imagery inside your mind. You have to repeat it. And that's what's going on here. It kind of dawned on me. It's like, boy, this is kind of repetitive. I wonder if this is going to get interesting. Can we make anything fresh each time we come back and give you a little bit of the lessons of the Proverbs? Can we do that? I think we can. I think we can, because each day is different. And by pounding this in, Solomon is saying, hey, look, get it, get wisdom, bam, over and over and over. I don't know if we had one proverb who said, something about find knowledge, get wisdom, get insights, that type of thing. Now, when we contrast, he first talks about the preciousness of wisdom, and then he talks about how kings reign. And, kings are often seen to have this big treasure trove of jewels, and it's part of their coffers, which fund the kingdom, which fund the enterprise, which fund your kingdom, your house, your household. But it's talks about how kings rule by wisdom, decree what is just. By me, princes rule, and nobles all govern justly. I love those who love me. This is another thing. I love those who love me. You love me, I'm gonna love you back, okay? You love me, I'm going to love you back. There's first an action on our part to love that wisdom. Okay, it's saying, you love wisdom, I'm going to love you back. Okay, but you got to take some action, you got to initiate. Okay, wisdom's really out there for everyone, but in order to reap the benefit, there needs to be this reciprocal process. If it's just one way, it's not going to last. Okay, wisdom is there, and for the right actions, good things can happen, but you're not going to reap that perpetual benefit and compounding of wisdom if you don't really love it back. Now, here's a real exciting part, how it talks about the origins of the earth. The Lord possessed me at the beginning of his work, the first of his acts of old. Ages ago I was set up at the first, before the beginning of the earth. This is, for those of you science folks, and for those of us who have creation in mind from God specifically, it doesn't matter if you're thinking Big Bang or whatever, the wisdom was put in place. This is a wise God we have, the ultimate, okay? And it had to be there. It's a given, okay? God and wisdom, it's obvious. God, bam. And before the ages of the earth. And he gets into that, the origins of the earth. And when there was no depths, I was brought forth. Talking about it. Had to be. And it's kind of obvious maybe for some, but what sometimes is common sense is not always common. Blessed is the one who listens to me, watching daily at my gates, waiting beside my doors. Listen, watch, and wait. Listen, watch, and wait. That might be a good lesson. That might be the title of our lesson here. Listen, watch, and wait. Proverbs 8. Proverbs 8, listen, watch, and wait. Blessed. Oh man, we start thinking of the Beatitudes. Blessed is the one who listens to me, watching daily at my gates. Listen, watching, and waiting. Waiting for wisdom. So you can't force something that's not there. Sometimes you have to be patient. Okay, so listen, watch, and wait. I'm sure there's action in here. For whoever finds me connotes looking and watching and actively going after. Finds me, because you find things by looking for them, by actively getting them off your butt and doing it, okay? And obtains favor from the Lord. But he who fails to find me injures himself. All who hate me love death. Ooh. Yeah, I don't know who can actually consciously hate wisdom. I wonder if that's possible. But, foolishness, loving foolishness, I think puts yourself at enmity with wisdom. So in that way, you set yourself up for hating wisdom, and that's not a good situation. All right, let's go through this. Let's read this out. Let's see what we get when we read it, okay? Does not wisdom call? Does not understanding raise her voice? On the heights beside the way. At the crossroads, she takes her stand. Beside the gates in front of the town, at the entrance of the portal, she cries aloud, to you, O men, I call, and my cry is to the children of man. O simple ones, learn prudence. O fools, learn sense. Hear, for I will speak noble things, and from my lips will come what is right, for my mouth will utter truth. Wickedness is an abomination to my lips. All the words of my mouth are righteous. There is nothing twisted or crooked in them. And they are all straight to him who understands, and right to those who find knowledge. Take my instruction instead of silver, and knowledge rather than choice gold. For wisdom is better than jewels, and all that you may desire cannot compare with her. I, wisdom, dwell with prudence, and I find knowledge and discretion. The fear of the Lord is hatred of evil, pride and arrogance, and the way of evil, and perverted speech I hate. I have counsel and sound wisdom. I have insight. I have strength. By me kings reign, and rulers decree what is just. By me princes rule, and nobles, and all who govern justly. I love those who love me, and those who seek me diligently find me. Riches and honor are with me, enduring wealth and righteousness. My fruit is better than gold, even fine gold, and my yield than choice silver. I walk in the way of righteousness, in the paths of justice, granting an inheritance to those who love me, and filling their treasuries. The Lord possesses me at the beginning of his work, the first of his acts of old. Ages ago I was set up, at the first beginning of the earth. When there were no depths, I was brought forth. When there were no springs abounding with water. Before the mountains had been shaped, before the hills I was brought forth. Before he had made the earth with its fields, or the first of the dust of the world. When he established the heavens, I was there. When he drew a circle on the face of the deep. When he made firm the skies above. When he established the fountains of the deep. When he assigned to the sea its limit, so that the waters might not transgress his command. When he marked out the fountains of the earth, then I was beside him like a master workman, and I was daily his delight, rejoicing before him always, rejoicing in his inhabited world, and delighting in the children of man. And now, O sons, listen to me. Blessed are those who keep my ways. Hear instruction and be wise, and do not neglect it. Blessed is the one who listens to me, watching daily at my gates, waiting beside my doors. For whoever finds me finds life and obtains favor from the Lord. But he who fails to find me injures himself. All who hate me love death. There we have it. Listen, watch, and wait. Proverbs 8. Listen, watch, and wait. Listen, watch, and wait. And take action. My friends, this is Proverbs 8. I look forward to hearing your comments. If you like it, if you're getting something out of it, give me a thumbs up. And we're going to get you some more of this. Take good care, my friends.